My wife said, "Did I really say that last night?" I don't remember. After wine with her friends. I replied, "You don't remember telling me about Jake?" She went pale. I, 36 male, have been married to my wife for 8 years. 2 kids, ages 6 and 4, decent house in the suburbs that we're both on the mortgage for. I work as an electrical engineer. She works part-time as a dental hygienist. Her choice, wanted more time with the kids. For the past few months, something felt off. Nothing I could point to specifically. She was more protective of her phone, started going out with the girls more often, would come home from these wine nights a little too happy, a little too evasive about what they talked about. I'm not a jealous guy. Never have been. But I know my wife, and something was different. Last Saturday night, she went out with her friends. Came home around 11 p.m., pretty tipsy. Not falling down drunk, but definitely feeling the wine. She was giggly, affectionate, kept telling me how much she loved me. I helped her get ready for bed. She passed out almost immediately. Sunday morning I was making coffee when she came downstairs, clearly hungover. She sat at the kitchen table, held her head and said, "Ugh, did I really say that last night? I don't remember half of what I said when I got home." Now, here's the thing. She hadn't said anything unusual. Just drunk rambling about her friends, complaining about one of them being annoying, typical stuff. Nothing notable. But in that moment, I had a feeling. Call it intuition. Call it 8 years of knowing someone. Something in the way she asked. There was fear underneath it. So I took a gamble. I kept my back to her, still pouring coffee. Kept my voice completely neutral. "You don't remember telling me about the guy from your office?" Silence. I turned around. Her face had gone white. Not pink, not embarrassed. White. What did I say exactly?" I shrugged. "You tell me. You brought him up." "I was drunk. I don't even know what I was talking about. It's nothing." "Then why do you look like you're about to pass out?" She started crying. Not dramatic sobbing, but that quiet crying where someone knows they're caught, but doesn't want to admit it yet. "It's not what you think." "What do I think?" "We're just friends. We work together. Sometimes we grab lunch. That's it." I sat down across from her, still calm. "Keep going." And here's the thing about guilty people. Once they start talking, they can't stop. Over the next hour, while I said almost nothing, she talked herself into a full confession. It started as, "We're just friends." Then it became, "We text sometimes, nothing inappropriate." Then, "Okay, maybe some of the texts were flirty, but I never meant anything by it." Then, "We kissed once, but I stopped it immediately." Then, "It happened a few times, but we never slept together." By the end, she'd admitted to a 4-month emotional affair that had turned physical about 6 weeks ago. Multiple times. At his apartment. During her lunch breaks. I just sat there, drinking my coffee, asking occasional clarifying questions. When did it start? How often? Where? Did her friends know? They knew. Her wine night friends. They'd been covering for her. When she finally stopped talking, she looked at me with this desperate hope in her eyes. "But you already knew, right? I told you last night. So we can work through this. I can explain everything properly now." I set my coffee cup down. "You didn't tell me anything last night. You just rambled about your friends being annoying. I guessed. And you just told me everything." The look on her face when she realized what happened. I'll never forget it. You tricked me?" "No. I asked a question. You answered it. For an hour." She started screaming. Called me manipulative, cruel, a monster. Said I violated her trust by tricking her into confessing. The irony was apparently lost on her. I got up, grabbed my keys, and told her I needed some time to think. Drove to my brother's place. Told him everything. He let me crash in his guest room. That was 6 days ago. I've been staying here since. She's blown up my phone with everything from apologies to accusations to threats. Her mother called me a snake for manipulating her daughter into admitting the truth. Her friends have been texting me saying I'm overreacting and that every marriage has rough patches. I've already consulted with a divorce attorney. First meeting is tomorrow. What kills me isn't even the affair. It's the absolute lack of accountability. She's genuinely angry at me for how she got caught. Not sorry she did it. Sorry she got outsmarted. 8 years, 2 kids, gone because she couldn't keep it in her pants, and I asked the right question at the right time. Update 1. 1 week later. Alright, the response to my post was overwhelming. Thanks for all the support. Here's where things stand. The divorce attorney meeting went well. She's experienced, straightforward, and didn't sugarcoat anything. You're in a no-fault state, she said. The affair doesn't matter much legally for asset division. It might matter slightly for custody if you can prove she was neglecting the children or exposing them to inappropriate situations, but she cheated alone won't get you primary custody. That stung, but I appreciated the honesty. We discussed the house. We'll likely have to sell and split equity, retirement accounts, split, and custody, probably 50-50, unless something changes. I'm not trying to destroy her financially or take the kids away completely. I just want out of this marriage with my dignity and fair access to my children. I finally went home Tuesday to get more clothes and talk logistics. The conversation was something. My wife was waiting in the living room with her mother. Great, an ambush. Her mother started immediately. You need to stop this nonsense and work on your marriage. With respect, this isn't your business. It is my business when you're destroying my grandchildren's family. My wife jumped in. Baby, please. I made a mistake. One mistake. You can't throw away 8 years over one mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was dozens of decisions over 4 months. Every text, every lie, every time you went to his apartment, every time you came home and kissed me and the kids like nothing happened. I was confused. Our marriage wasn't perfect. And your solution was to sleep with a coworker instead of talking to me. Her mother. Men don't understand emotional needs. She was lonely. You work too much. Maybe if you'd paid more attention. I work to support this family. She works part-time by choice. And her solution to feeling lonely was cheating, not marriage counseling. Counseling. My wife grabbed onto that like a lifeline. Yes, let's do counseling. I'll do whatever it takes. I don't want counseling. I want a divorce. You can't just give up. I'm not giving up. I'm accepting reality. You had an affair. You only stopped because I caught you. Not because you felt guilty, because you got caught. That's not something I can come back from. Her mother stood up. You're being cruel, vindictive. This isn't the Christian thing to do. Neither is adultery, but here we are. I grabbed my stuff and left, but not before my wife said something that showed me exactly who I was dealing with. If you divorce me, I'll make sure you never see those kids. I stopped at the door, turned around. Did you just threaten me? She backtracked immediately. That's not what I meant. I'm just saying courts favor mothers, and if you're going to be difficult. I'm recording this conversation. Have been since I walked in. Keep talking. I wasn't actually recording, but the look on her face was worth the bluff. Her mother. That's illegal. We're in a one-party consent state. Look it up. I left, drove back to my brother's, and immediately texted myself the summary of that conversation with timestamps, because now I actually do need to document everything. The attorney had warned me. Contested divorces get ugly. Document everything. Every threat, every interaction, every time she does something concerning regarding the kids. So that's what I'm doing now. Building a file, being strategic. Her affair partner, by the way? She's still texting him. My brother's wife works in the same building, different department, and she's seen them having lunch together twice since I found out. My wife apparently told him I was being dramatic, and they'd work it out. She genuinely doesn't think this is over. She thinks I'll come crawling back. She's wrong. Update 2, 3 weeks later. Things escalated. Badly. First, the good news. I've officially filed for divorce. Papers were served last Monday. My wife's reaction was not great. She called me 17 times in 2 hours, left voicemails alternating between crying and screaming. Then her mother called. Then her sister called. Then her father called. And he was actually the most reasonable, apologizing for his daughter's behavior and saying he understood why I was doing this, which apparently caused a massive family fight when word got back to my wife. But here's where she showed her true colors. Wednesday, I got a call from my HR department. Someone had made an anonymous complaint claiming I was having an affair with a coworker and it was creating a hostile work environment. The accusation was detailed enough that HR had to investigate. I knew immediately who was behind it, but proving it was another matter. The investigation took 4 days. They interviewed me, the female coworker who was supposedly involved. She was horrified. We've barely spoken beyond work stuff. And several others. They reviewed emails, schedules, building access logs, found absolutely nothing because there was nothing to find. When HR cleared me, I asked if they could tell me who made the complaint. They couldn't. Anonymous system. But the timing was suspicious to everyone. My attorney documented it, added it to the file. Then came the custody manipulation. My wife started telling the kids things, not overtly alienating stuff that would be obvious. She's smarter than that. But comments like, "Daddy decided he doesn't want to live with us anymore," and "I wish Daddy still loved our family like I do." My 6-year-old asked me, crying, "Why don't you want to be my daddy anymore?" That broke me. Actually broke me. I held my son and explained that I would always be his daddy, that both mommy and daddy loved him so much, and that sometimes parents had to live in different houses, but that didn't change how much we loved him. Then I documented the incident. My attorney said comments like that could be considered parental alienation, especially if they continued. The next dirty trick was more creative. My wife called the cops claiming I'd taken items from the house that belonged to her. Specifically, she said I'd taken her laptop, jewelry, and $2,000 cash. 2 officers showed up at my brother's place, very professional, just doing their job. I calmly explained the situation. Contested divorce, I'd only taken my personal belongings, and I had photos I'd taken before leaving documenting exactly what I'd removed. The officers looked at my documentation, asked a few questions, and left. One of them, on his way out, said quietly, "Seen this before. Get a good lawyer. Document everything." I was already doing that. But here's the thing about my wife. She overplayed her hand. All of it. The false HR complaint? When my company finished their investigation, they created a formal report clearing me. That report now exists as documentation that someone tried to get me fired with false accusations during my divorce proceedings. The custody manipulation? I'd been keeping a detailed journal of every comment the kids repeated, with dates and approximate times. 3 weeks of documented incidents. The false police report? The officers filed their report noting no evidence of theft and that I had documentation of what I'd removed. Making a false police report is a crime. I'm not pursuing charges yet, but my attorney has it in the file. And here's the thing that changed everything. My brother's wife, the one who works in the same building as my wife. She sent me a photo, taken in the parking garage, my wife and her affair partner kissing next to his car. Time-stamped 2 days after I filed for divorce. She's still seeing him, while fighting me for custody, while accusing me of being the bad guy. I forwarded it to my attorney. She smiled. This helps with custody, not asset division. That's still going to be roughly 50-50. But custody, a judge seeing that she's continuing an affair while making parental alienation comments, while filing false police reports, that paints a picture. The picture is unstable and not prioritizing the children's well-being. Our first custody hearing is next week. I'm not trying to take the kids away from their mother. I'm trying to protect them from being used as weapons in her war against me. She started this fight. I'm just going to finish it. Final update, 2 months after filing. It's done. Mostly. Divorce won't be final for another few weeks, waiting period, but all major issues are resolved. Here's how it played out. The custody hearing was the turning point. My attorney is worth every penny. My wife's attorney came in swinging. I was emotionally distant. I worked too much. I'd entrapped her into confessing the affair through psychological manipulation, and I should have limited custody due to my vindictive behavior. My attorney calmly presented the documented parental alienation attempts, 12 separate incidents over 5 weeks, the false HR complaint and the report clearing me, the false police report and the officer's documentation, The photo of my wife with her affair partner, dated after filing. Text messages from my wife threatening to keep me from my kids. The judge asked my wife directly, "Are you still in contact with this individual?" Her attorney tried to object. The judge overruled. My wife admitted she'd seen him a few times, but claimed it was just to talk about work. The photograph submitted shows you kissing him in a parking garage. That was taken out of context. The judge's expression told me everything I needed to know. She'd seen this before. She wasn't impressed. The custody ruling, I got primary physical custody, 60-40 split. Kids primarily with me during school week, with her every other weekend and Wednesday evenings. She was warned that any further alienation attempts would result in a custody review. She cried. Her mother, sitting in the gallery, actually stood up and started shouting about the judge being biased. Security had to escort her out. Asset division was standard. House is being sold, equity split, retirement accounts split. Each keeps our own vehicles. I'm paying modest child support to her for the time the kids are with her, about $650 a month, which is actually less than I expected because of the custody split. No alimony. Her attorney tried for it, but given that she works, the marriage was only 8 years, and she was the one who caused the breakdown through infidelity, the judge declined to award any. My wife was furious about the child support amount. That's barely enough to cover groceries. Ma'am, the judge said, you work, you have earning capacity. This isn't meant to maintain your lifestyle, it's meant to ensure the children's needs are met when they're with you. After the hearing, her mother caught me in the parking lot. You ruined her life. She ruined her own life. I just asked a question over coffee. She chose to answer it. You manipulated her. I gave her an opportunity to tell the truth. She took it. Everything else was her own choices. The affair, the lies, the threats, the false reports. All her. You'll regret this. Those children need their mother. They have their mother. They also have a father who isn't going to be walked all over. I got in my car and drove home. My home now, I'm renting a 3-bedroom apartment close to the kids' school. It's smaller than the house, but it's mine. It's peaceful. The kids are adjusting. It's hard. I won't pretend it isn't. My 6-year-old had some behavioral issues at school for a few weeks. My 4-year-old still asks when mommy is coming to live with us again. It breaks my heart every time. But they're also starting to see that both houses can be home. That daddy's house has their rooms, their toys, their routines. That mommy's house, she's renting a condo now, has hers. That both parents love them even if we're not together. My wife and I communicate strictly through a co-parenting app now. No texts, no calls unless it's an emergency. She's tried to bend that rule multiple times. Long messages about how I'm poisoning the kids against her. I'm not. How I'm being inflexible. I follow the custody order exactly. How she can't believe I did this to us. She did this to us. I don't respond to the manipulation attempts, just the logistics, drop-off times, permission slips, doctor's appointments. Her affair partner? They're apparently official now, together publicly. She posted about their relationship journey on social media. My brother showed me. Some of her friends supportive, some apparently dropped her. Don't care either way. Here's what I learned from all this. Trust your instincts. I knew something was wrong for months. I ignored it, made excuses, told myself I was being paranoid. I wasn't. Document everything. The moment a divorce becomes contentious, every interaction matters. Every text, every incident, every threat. I was lucky my attorney warned me early. Don't be vengeful, but don't be a pushover either. I didn't try to destroy my wife. I didn't go after her job or blast her on social media or try to turn the kids against her. But I also didn't roll over when she threatened me, lied about me, and tried to use our children as weapons. There's a difference between being vindictive and being prepared. And finally, some questions deserve to be asked. You don't remember telling me about the guy from your office? That wasn't manipulation. That was giving someone who I suspected was lying to me an opportunity to tell the truth. She chose to confirm my suspicions. Everything that happened after was consequences of her own actions. She gambled that I'd never find out. She lost. My kids still have 2 parents who love them. That's what matters most now. As for me, I'm tired. Divorce is exhausting. Emotionally, financially, logistically. I lost half my retirement savings. I'm paying child support and attorney fees that wiped out most of my savings account. I'll be rebuilding financially for years. But I'm also free. No more lying next to someone I don't trust. No more pretending everything's fine when it isn't. No more being the reliable husband while she sneaks around behind my back. Worth it? I think so. Ask me again in a year. For now, I'm just focused on being the best dad I can be and rebuilding a life that doesn't include her. To everyone in similar situations, trust your gut, protect yourself, and remember that asking questions isn't manipulation. It's just giving people the chance to tell the truth. Sometimes they take it,